Hello everybody, it's Delilah and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about 50 things that I either recently stopped buying or never bought in the first place in order to save money, to live better. I thought this would be a fun video topic because I know a lot of you are curious about what we do and don't do in order to save money, especially since for a long time we were living on a single income. I'm in no way, shape, or form telling you that these things you also should not be buying. I'm not trying to preach to you or tell you anything like that. I'm just saying the things that I personally have chosen not to purchase, I don't find necessary, and can definitely live without. Everybody's list is gonna be different. Before this intro gets too long, let's just hop right into it. Number one, K-cups. This is a very recent transition. Honestly, I never realized up until recently how bad K-cups are for the environment. We've gone through so many of them, like so many. The coffee in them isn't that great. We bought reusable ones. I got them super cheap, pack of 6 from Amazon, and the coffee that we can make through that is far better, way cheaper, and so much better for the environment. Number two, cheap coffees. For this, I'm referring to like fast food coffees. For the longest time, we'd go to McDonald's or Tim Hortons and get coffees, and 9 times out of 10, we were so disappointed with what we got. So often, the coffee would just taste like water, and it was disgusting. I don't know why it took us so long, but finally we realized that, you know what, this is useless. We are wasting so much money. We are wasting so much coffee. Every once in a while, we'll treat ourselves to like a fancy coffee from a coffee shop, or we will just bring our own coffee because we can make our own coffee far better than we can buy from a fast food place. Number 3, bottled drinks. Honestly, I only drink water and coffee for the most part, so for me that's an easy one to just not buy. I never really have bought in them. Even bottled water we don't buy because first of all, it's so bad for the environment. Secondly, it's so expensive. Just fill up your water bottle. Winston just totally freaked out and moved the tripod. Just fill up your water bottle. Seriously, I bring this thing with me everywhere and it's practically free. Number 4, fast food. Every once in a while we'll treat ourselves, like maybe once every 2 weeks, once every week, something like that. Sorry, this is crooked. Obviously, fast food is not great for you and it's extremely expensive. Plus, home cooked meals are just so much better. So we do kind of like a meal plan. If you want to see a video on how I do that, how we buy our groceries, how I kind of plan my meals, I'll leave a video linked here for you to go and watch. 5, drinks and desserts at restaurants. So whenever we go out to eat, we obviously get a main meal. Sometimes we'll share an appetizer, but after that, we really don't buy anything. Very rarely will we buy a drink. Even just by ordering water at a restaurant instead of getting a drink like a pop or whatever, we save so much money when we go out to eat. And desserts, we never ever get when we go out to restaurants because first of all, we're so full. Secondly, I can probably make something better at home. Number 6, alcohol. We really don't drink like any alcohol. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan. I do enjoy a drink here and there, but to be perfectly honest, alcohol just makes my stomach turn a little bit. Not in like a nauseous way, but it just makes me feel kind of icky. So I'll only ever have one drink for that reason. Quite honestly, I just prefer water. Number 7 goes right along with that one, and that is pop. We do not drink pop. Zach used to drink a lot of pop when he was growing up. I did too. I stopped drinking pop in like high school, I think, and I have not looked back. Like, I honestly kind of find pop disgusting now. It's gross. I would much rather have water. Number 8, pre-packaged foods. We do a lot of chopping, a lot of cooking at home, and it's not like it takes that much time. I'm a busy woman. I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom, a full-time work-at-home mom, and I still manage to find time to make food myself. It just takes an extra like 5 minutes to chop a few veggies instead of going to buy like a pre-packaged salad. Those pre-packaged foods are expensive and you are paying a pretty penny for the convenience of it. Number 9, food items that are not on my grocery list. This is something I think we all struggle with when we go grocery shopping. I will not walk down the snack aisle. I will not walk down the chip aisle, the pop aisle, any of that, because I know I will be tempted and I will buy something thinking, oh, let's just treat myself. And then all these treats kind of accumulate and pile up in our pantry. It's just a lot of wasted money and food, and it's obviously not good for you either. So when we go grocery shopping, I make a list list and I try to be very detailed of everything that I need for the next week or two. I try not to buy anything that's not on that list. Number 10, baby food. I make all my baby food at home. It's honestly not that hard. I made a video a long time ago when I was feeding Eloise. I'll also be making another one of how I am prepping and preparing Theo's food for him. It's really not hard. It makes me feel a lot better knowing that my baby's not getting anything processed and it's just so much cheaper. Number 11, nail polish. I can't remember the last time I painted my nails. I do not have time. Nail polish for me lasts maybe a day and then it just peels off completely. It's like I wasted an hour or two painting my nails for no reason whatsoever. Plus I kind of like the natural look anyway. Number 12, manicures and pedicures. I have never gotten a manicure. I got a pedicure once because somebody else paid for it and honestly I did not enjoy it very much. As an introvert, the idea of sitting alone with a stranger while they do my nails just sounds kind of miserable to me, and so it's just something I have no interest in doing. Number 13, hair dyes, extensions, etc, etc. When it comes to my hair, I have never dyed it. I have never done anything except for cutting it. You can do a lot just by switching things up, getting bangs, cutting it short, getting layers. I've just never felt the need to dye my hair, get extensions. In fact, I'm actually kind of scared to. I kind of have these natural highlights in my hair and I'm scared that if I dyed it, I would ruin it. And so I'm just not gonna go there. Number 14, cosmetic enhancements. This refers to microblading, eyelash extensions, etc, etc, any kind of skin treatments. I have never once done anything like that, and honestly, I don't think I ever will. Maybe one day in the future I'll get eyelash extensions, but honestly, it seems like a very high price to pay for something that just doesn't last very long, and having to go for an appointment every few weeks, again, as an introvert, just doesn't sound great to me. It's just something I think I would dread. I would not look forward to it. Number 15, music subscriptions. I used to have subscriptions to like Spotify and places like that, but honestly, the amount that we listen to music, it does not pay. I'm willing to put up the ads instead of spending hundreds of dollars every year into just a subscription for music. Number 16, magazine subscription. Again, the same thing. I've actually never been subscribed to any kinds of magazines. I would never ever read them. It's just not necessary. 17, cable. Way back in our first year of marriage, Zach and I lived in a basement suite and cable came with the deal. I very much enjoyed it, just having like the TV on, having like a home renovation show in the background, a cooking show, the food channel, whatever. I really enjoyed that. But as a mom, now that I have kids, I don't want to have my TV on all the time. I don't want my kids to get used to having a TV on all the time. There's a lot of influence that comes through watching TV and a lot of people out there who are just like pushing things on you, influencing you, and I don't want that for my kids. We have Netflix and that's it. 18, DVDs. The amount of times that we've actually stuck a DVD in the DVD player is like next to none. Because again, we have Netflix. It's just something we never use. Number 19, CDs. This goes right along with the last one. We don't even own a CD player, so like, what's the point in buying CDs? If I want to listen to a song, I can go to YouTube, I can go to Spotify, I can go anywhere. Number 20, books. I never read books, like ever. As much as I would love to read books, I could just go to the library if I ever manage to find the time. For me, books are just kind of a waste of space or kind of a waste of money. As much as I wish I have the time to read, I just don't. Number 21, plants. And this one makes me a little sad because as much as I would absolutely love to have a house full of plants, like I would love just to have plants everywhere, live plants, living plants, I do not have a green thumb. I kill any plant that comes in my door. The only one that's still doing good, you can kind of see it here. These kinds of plants, I don't remember what they're called. They do good anywhere and they're the only plant I can keep alive. Number 22, fresh flowers. The odd time Zach will buy me flush flowers. The odd time Zach will buy me fresh flowers for my birthday, anniversary, sometimes on occasion as a treat, but that's all we do. And even when he does do that, he doesn't go out of his way to buy a super expensive bouquet, and I'm okay with that. Fresh flowers are nice, they brighten up the space, but they only last for a very short while, and Winston likes to eat them. So for us, they're kind of a waste of money. Number 23, pads and tampons. For I think like almost 2 years now, 1.5 years, I've been using a menstrual cup. I have loved it, and I am never going back to pads or tampons ever again. Number 24, skincare. I don't think I've ever bought any form of skincare. The only kind of skincare, like masks or whatever I've ever used, have been gifted to me either like at Christmas time or in a subscription box, and 9 times out of 10 I will use it once or twice and I'll be excited to use it, but I'll never reach for it again, and I end up throwing it away, giving it away. It's just something I don't have time for. Number 25, lotions. Again, this is something that is gifted to me almost every single Christmas or for my birthday. Honestly, I cannot remember the last time I bought a lotion. And even if I needed to, I could just use coconut oil. I use coconut oil on my kids just because it's a lot more safe and natural, and so it's just something that I don't have a need to buy. Number 26, excessive makeup. I wear very minimal makeup. I just don't even like the look of a lot of makeup anymore. I don't have time for it. I don't really care for it anymore. I only wear makeup about 3, maybe 2 days of the week. Most of the time I'm barefaced. Number 27, candles. This is something I never thought I would hear myself say, but I do not buy candles anymore. I can't remember the last time I even lit a candle. I much prefer essential oils. I actually prefer the scent of essential oils far more than candles. I find that candles often just smell very artificial and very, very strong. Number 28, jewelry. When it comes to accessories, I am very basic, very simple. I wear the same 2 necklaces over and over and over again. I wear the same watch like every single day, the same hat every single day, and that's like all I need. I don't need excessive jewelry. I just would never wear it. Number 29, high heels. Watching me walk in high heels is probably hilarious because I cannot do it. I cannot. No matter how hard I try, I can't do it. And as a mom, like the last thing I want to do is try to be walking in high heels while I'm taking care of my kids. Give me a pair of flats and I'm good to go. Number 30, cheap shoes. This is something that is recent. For the longest time, I was just buying cheap shoes. It's not that my back or feet have ever really suffered because of it, but I wore holes through them so fast. I would wear them for 1 season and then they would be garbage and I'd have to buy new ones the next season. I would go through a good at least 2 pairs of shoes every year I'd be chucking out because they would just be worn out. So more recently I have decided to stop buying those shoes and to buy more quality items. Number 31, clothing that is not modest. As a Christian mom, it is extremely important to me to be modest. I've actually gotten rid of all of my like lower V-neck tees, any of my shorts that were just too short and kind of show my butt a little bit, because I just found myself never ever reaching for those. It's not that I'm against wearing like a deep V-neck tee. In fact, I think they're very flattering, but I gotta be very careful about how I bend over. So every time I would bend over, I'd be like holding my hand here. When you're dealing with kids, you kind of need both hands and you don't want to be worried about, are my boobs showing? Is my butt showing? Like that's just something that I don't want to be thinking about. Number 32, clothing that isn't 100% perfect. For me, I am a very picky person. Whenever I go shopping, I will have like an arm full of clothes that I think are so cute, that look great on the mannequins or great on the rack, and then I will try them on and I'll come back with maybe 1 or 2 items. If I'm buying an item, I need to be 100% sure that it's something that I'm going to wear over and over again. I need to make sure it's something that I'm going to constantly reach for, because otherwise, what is the point? This is something I'm still trying to figure out. If I buy an item that I'm like 60% sure I'm going to wear, 90% of that time that shirt just gets given away a year later. It just takes up space in my closet and I give it away. Ultimately, it was a huge waste of my money, a waste of space, and there's just no point in buying something I'm not gonna wear. Number 33, fast fashion and trendy items. This is something that has more recently come to my attention. All those cheap clothes at like Old Navy, Gap, places like that, they're great and they look beautiful and they are very trendy and cute, but so often they go out of style and I get rid of it a year later. Or they're not quality enough and they get worn quickly and I give it away a year later. The fast fashion industry is just something I no longer want to support. Just knowing what goes on behind the scenes, knowing about the sweatshops and the way that women and children are treated, it breaks my heart and honestly makes me a little bit sick to my stomach. So I no longer want to support those. Instead, I will thrift. Number 34, bright colors, patterns, etc. When it comes to bright patterns, tones and colors and stuff. First of all, that's just not my style. I much prefer a neutral color palette. And secondly, when you have a neutral color palette, it is so much easier to mix, match your clothing, to put together an outfit in the morning. You don't have to worry about, does this match with this? Because everything just kind of matches together. Number 35, sale items. This one gets me, and this one is hard. Those sale signs, those clearance signs, they draw my attention. And it is hard to say no, because so often I'll go to a sale section, I'll find something I kind of like but don't love, but I'm like, hey, it's only like $3, it's only like $10. It's like, it hardly costs anything. And that's what gets me. But again, those are items I very often just give away a year later because I don't actually love it. So instead, I'm trying to change my shopping habits so that I know what I want. I go into the store, I get what I want, and I leave. Try not to wander, look at the sale items, because then I just end up spending more money than I need to. Number 36, new items. This is also something that's more recent. I have started to go to the thrift store before I go anywhere else. Clothing, dishes, toys, like literally anything. I will always go to the thrift store first and see if I can find what I'm looking for. Again, it's sustainable, it's ethical, it's cheaper, so I always go there first, and then if I can't find anything at the thrift store, I will go and buy it brand new. Number 37, duplicate items. Items that I already own. I don't need multiple of everything. Especially for us, we live in a small house. I understand if you're living in a big house, you've got upstairs, downstairs, or if you have lots of kids, you might need like a lot of dishes or a lot of, you know, different things. We try to own only what we use, only what we need, and anything else we try not to spend our money on. Number 38, anything that doesn't have a place in my home. When I go shopping, especially when I go thrifting, and this can be very challenging, but I go in with the mindset of not purchasing anything that won't have a place in my home. If I see an item at a thrift store and I love it, but I can't think of where to use it or how to use it in my home, I will not buy it. Unless it's something that I'm just like absolutely head over heels in love with. Sometimes I will. I try very hard not to. Number 39, knickknacks. If you look around my home, you will see very few knickknacks. And anything that is kind of knickknacky, like up here I have a shelf, there is a jar that is holding letters, so it's actually being useful. There's also a jar that is filled with dried flowers, and it has a very special memory for me. It contains a flower from every bouquet that Zach bought me while we were dating, and so things like that I will have in my home. Things that have a meaning, things that are useful. If I have a knickknack, it's gonna mean something or it's gonna be useful. Number 40, wall art. I love the look of wall art. I think it's beautiful, but it just feels so impersonal to me. For me, I would far rather have my house filled with memorable pictures of our family, because we take so many pictures. Why not put it on our walls? Why not put it to use? It's so much fun just looking at these pictures, especially when people come over. If you have like a photo wall in your house, people migrate to that area, and it's just fun to look back on and to talk about and say, remember when this happened? Remember when Eloise was this small? Number 41, pillows. You will notice on our couch we have very minimal pillows. On our bed we only have the pillows that we actually use at night. Pillows are great, but they can be so excessive. When I see a bed filled with pillows that never get used, that get tossed to the floor every single night, it makes no sense to me. Sure, it may look nice, but it's just such a waste of money and space. Number 42, seasonal decor. I've mentioned this before, I do not decorate for fall, for Easter, spring. I will decorate slightly for Christmas, like we have a Christmas tree, I have a couple wreaths, that's kind of it. It's a waste of money, it's a waste of space. It's a lot of work to decorate every single season. Number 43, seasonal scents. This refers to candles, lotions, cleaners, anything like that. Every season, these companies come out with seasonal scents, and it just doesn't make sense to me. So I've stopped buying things like that. Number 44, disposable plates, cups, utensils, etc. It is very convenient to use disposables, especially when you are hosting, having people over, parties, whatever, but it is such a waste. It's a waste of money, it's bad for the environment, plus it's just so much nicer to eat off of a real plate. It only takes like an extra 10 minutes to wash all those dishes and throw them in the dishwasher. Number 45, lottery tickets. I have never once purchased a lottery ticket. I never intend to. This is actually biblical. It says in the Bible, I don't remember the verse, but it says multiple times, I think in Proverbs, work hard for your money and you will be rewarded. Ultimately with lottery tickets, the chances of you winning are very, very little. And the amount of money that you waste on them can be huge depending on how many you buy. I just avoid that scene altogether. Number 46, movie tickets. The last time Zach and I went to watch a movie was like way before Eloise was even born. We have not been in a few years. Movie tickets are extremely expensive, and honestly, I would so much rather sit on the couch, watch Netflix with a snack in the comfort of my own home. That just sounds so much better to me than going to a movie theater filled with a bunch of other people in a sticky seat. Not to mention, if Zach and I are to go out on a date now, we want to be able to connect and to talk. We don't want to be sitting watching a movie and not communicating. Number 47, battery operated toys. I think we've only bought Eloise like 1 or 2 battery operated toys in the past. Honestly, she rarely plays with them. Melissa and Doug toys are her favorite wooden toys. Like, it's not even me who likes them, it's her. It's not that I'm against battery operated toys to an extent. I'm against all the flashy, bright, like in your face toys, but the toys that are just like playing sound, I think those are great, or educational toys. But Eloise just doesn't use them. Number 48, formula. And I don't want to be stepping on any toes. If you use formula, that's great. I'm not judging you whatsoever. We've just never needed to. Thea won't even take a bottle. I've actually purchased in the past thinking I would use it and never did, and I actually had to end up throwing it away. So it's just something we don't buy. Number 49, plastic food containers. All we have right now is plastic food containers, and I am done. I'm done purchasing them. They get ruined very fast, and instead of having to repurchase them over and over and over again, why not just buy a glass container that's gonna last you far longer? And last but not least, number 50 is soap bottles. Instead of buying a different bottle of soap every single time we need more soap, I just buy a bulk that I can refill reusable bottles. Honestly, it's far prettier, but not only that, it's gonna save us a lot of money just by buying bulk. It's gonna be better for the environment, not buying plastic containers all the time. That's it. I feel like I've been talking forever. It has been like almost an hour that I have been filming this video, so hopefully it's not too long. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this maybe made you reconsider some of the things that you do purchase. Maybe it'll inspire you to think twice before you go and buy something. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below some of the things that you have recently stopped buying or that you never bought, that you don't find a point in buying. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.